Hello dear all. Now you will be wondering, why is there so much wood on the table? I have good news. Sebastian from Regensburg, he did build the actual Petit with 26 liter volume with the Fostex FF125 WK, and he gave me the news. It sounds fantastic, it's great. So that means if you are planning to build the Petit and you don't get the FE103NV, or you think about going for the FF125WK, what is a very clever idea. It works perfect. It sounds wonderful. I show you some pictures of the Petit from Sebastian. You can see he did it with this Fostex driver. And what you need to know is it sounds perfect. He's very happy. Why is this driver so interesting? Because Hiraga built the Petit especially for the Fostex FE103 Sigma. And the interesting thing on the FF125WK is that the magnet is very, very strong and big and actually resembles the magnet of the Sigma driver. So that means this driver is actually really good for the Petit. And Sebastian from Regensburg built it exactly with this driver, and he said it sounds fantastic. He's absolutely happy. Recently in Germany the FE103NV is even not available anymore because so many people bought it and built some Petits. Very nice. Good, and I can show you now the curve of the 26.5 liter cabinet. So you can see here how this driver behaves in the cabinet. You have a tuning frequency of 48 Hertz and 1 dB plus at the 50 Hertz. And you have a loss around 70 to 120 Hertz of 2 dB. So that's okay. You can just take this driver, put it in the Petit, and you are happy. This driver has a bit bigger diameter. It's 1 centimeter more diameter. That means you can go, if you have the 103NV, you can cut it bigger and go for that driver, but you cannot go back. The moment you make the hole bigger for the FE103, it's game over. There is, of course, the FE108 Sigma EZ. This is, of course, the best driver. That has also a very big magnet. It's the real successor of the Sigma driver Jean Hiraga used in the 80s. If you want to buy that, of course, it would be the best choice, but it's very expensive. The pair is €400 or $400. This pair, FF125WK, is €160 or $160, $150. Yeah, it's cheaper. Good. What is our next step? Our next step is a Petit that is bigger and more modern, and it is a kind of a test. I try to do an experiment to see what is possible. Yesterday, János from Real World Audio did announce that he will build a Petit as well. We have a very lovely cooperation between Thorsten, Snake Oil Audio, Real World Audio and my craziness. And he will build a Petit with 44 liter housing, and he calls it Le Grande. His housing will be a live cabinet. That means the cabinet will use wood that behaves like wood from a music instrument, that will give an audible body and a very lovely sound signature. Yeah, this is a very interesting topic, and János is a master in this, how can you say, in this technique. I'm very curious about that, and maybe I will also try to build a live cabinet later. I'm very curious about that. What I will build is another Petit. I will build it now the second time after my first build. I would like to build a Petit to more modern standards where I implement new ideas, and I try to let this ugly Some people, I find this board in the front very cool, but some people complain, so we will not implement it. So when we look at the curves, I will build the body with 39-liter housing, and I will use the dimensions from János Real World Audio live cabinet. You will see the width, height and depth is according to our musical notes frequencies. So that means the vibration, if you have some resonance in the body, it will resonate according to our musical notes and not to some alien sound. This will make the sound of the loudspeaker more harmonious. And when you see here, I did choose 4 different tuning frequencies between 38 and 45 Hertz. And the 40 Hertz or 38 Hertz is for sure cool, because you can go very down, deep bass. You can see the bass reaches really deep down. But we have the 0 dB loss is quite dominant, and that's a bit too much for my taste. Even with 43 Hertz, I still have a loss of 3 dB in a range of 70 Hertz. No? And the gain in bass is only 1 dB. So I decide to use the tuning frequency of 45 Hertz. You can see there's a 1.6 dB gain at 45 Hertz. We have a nice deep bass. 30 Hertz is about minus 18 dB, so that means we can even still hear 30 Hertz. This is really cool. And our loss in 70 Hertz is about 2.5 dB. That's not so painful. It's okay. It's similar like the actual Petit that I have now. So you will maybe have seen already there is a difference in the bass reflex tube. Here we will use 2 slot ports. If you still want to build the original Petit with 26.5 liter, I give you here the opportunity, instead of using a 7 centimeter bass reflex tube, you can use slot ports. You can use slot ports with 3 by 13 centimeter dimension and a depth of 14.2 centimeter. If you don't want to use the tube, but you prefer to have a slot port when you build the normal Petit, but you want to use the FF125 WK driver. In our case now, with the new Petit, I built here the first step towards a new. This will be an experiment. It's not the finished thing, but a step forward. I will use 2 slot ports. Each has a length of 10.3 centimeter and is 3 by 6 centimeter. To give you a bit an impression of the new loudspeaker, I have the boards here. So this is how it will look like, the size. And we will put the speaker into the center. And we will have 2 slot ports on the bottom, top and the bottom. And I will do a bit of separation maybe in the middle, inside. So the ventilation is 2-folded. And here you can see the top. And these are the sides. And I'm not sure about how to call it. János will call his live cabinet with 44 liter Le Grande, the big one. I was thinking, will it be the small fat one? I'm not sure. If you have an idea how to name it, the new Petit, the experiment number 2, write it in the comments. I would be curious if you have a good idea. I'm still thinking what is the best name. Good. So I hope you like this new project. I will also parallel build a project with a 3-way speaker system with scan speakers with a more classical layout, not the full range, but the 3-way speaker. I haven't forgotten it, but I thought I give you a small preview. What is the next step in the Le Petit? So you can also, if you are now starting slowly in the holidays to Christmas to build a Petit, you can already consider this driver instead of the FE103 NV. And you can also consider if you want to go for the bigger housing, so the bigger cabinet, like this one here. No? Good, I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to say thank you and bye bye. Genau. What is this? Well, I have Hiraga bought a built János from real I have kleine Sünden bestraft der Herrgott sofort.